I'd like to share with you guys my watch collection. This is a snapshot in time, August 2021, of the dozen or so watches that comprise my daily rotation. So I'm going to drop in pictures, macro shots, wrist rolls, close-ups of the different watches in my collection. I'm going to talk about retail price, value, what I paid, and what I love about this collection, what I want to change, because I love flipping. I have no desire to have a keeper watch. I think some of them stick around. Some of them I likely will never sell. Others, I might have 2 months before I move on to another watch. That's just how I enjoy going about this hobby. I like the fluidity. I like the change. And so if you see a watch, maybe you thought I had and it's not here anymore, obviously I've moved on. Some of these might be new to you. I've been in the minimalist section of things for quite a while where I had, only 3 watches, and then I sold one of them and I let a friend borrow another, for a review. So I wore one watch for a good month before I started adding. And then I kind of went crazy. I ballooned up to about a dozen watches. In fact, as of the time of recording this, I have 2 watches inbound. So technically I have a collection of 14 plus some odds and ends. But that's the thing. It's going to be changing and it's going to be evolving, and I enjoy that. So I have 6 dive watches, 1 chronograph, 2 different dual times, 3 different watches that only have the time and date, 1 digital watch. 11 of them are automatic. 1 is a hand wind mechanical. 1 is solar powered. And of my roughly dozen watches, I have 9 different movements. So I think I have some pretty good variety in terms of calibers, in terms of brands, in terms of movement makers, in terms of color, for having a very sport watch heavy, very dive watch heavy collection. So 8 of these are Swiss watches. 5 of these are Japanese watches. Again, all of them are sport watches. And I enjoy wearing my keepers on bracelets. And so you guys can see my Recraft UFO. I've taken off that terrible strap that it came on and placed it on a German-made polished Milanese mesh that I think looks great. This one is my most sentimental watch. It was gifted to me by my father, so it's one that I'm never going to sell. Even though I say I don't have keepers, this one just means too much to me, and when I wear it, I think of my father. 5 of my watches have a white or a silver dial. That is by far the most common color of the watches that I own. 2 of them have black dials, 2 of them have blue dials, 1 of them has an orange dial, 1 of them has a sunray green dial, 1 of them is an open work dial, and 1 of them has a gold dial or a yellow dial. You won't see it here on the desk. In fact, that is one of the watches that is inbound. I was fortunate to purchase an SRPH 19K1, the Beat, what was called Beat Maker limited edition that, has the Pogue color scheme in the 5KX case. This one is very hard to come by. Sold out immediately when it was debuted on Seiko's website, and it's already being listed for double the retail price, and that's only going to continue to go up until Seiko makes some more or makes a maybe more desirable platform with that color scheme. So I've got that one inbound. That's a gold dial. I have 8 different brands. 7 of them have open display casebacks. 6 of them have closed casebacks. 2 of my watches are titanium, and the remaining 11 are fashioned out of stainless steel. And for a long time, I had been resistant to titanium. I was all about stainless steel because I didn't like how easy titanium is to scratch. You look at it wrong. You sneeze on it, right? You cough on it, and you'll put a hairline wear mark seemingly at times. It reminds me of yellow gold. It's a stronger material than stainless steel, but it doesn't matter if it's grade 5, doesn't matter if it's grade 2, they scratch pretty easy. And I know wearing sport watches, they're going to scratch. There's no way around it, but if you can avoid it, I think that's preferable. But you guys can see I have a couple, and I have desires to add more. I think I'm coming around to titanium, and I have a desire to broaden my material to ceramic, to some of the exotic or noble materials, and just bring more variety to the collection. I like having variety of movements, of complication, of color, countries of origin, but I think case material could be a good place to expand my horizon here with the collection. My most practical or easy to wear watch is the Rolex Hulk. This one is just thin, it's comfortable, it has the great taper, it's adjustable, best bezel action in the business, lovely lume, one of the most accurate watches that I have, and the lovely green. It's just, it's stunning. It's beautiful. It looks like a Kermit in some lights. It looks like a Hulk in other lights when you really see that fine gold dust in the sun ray come to life and reflect the rays of the sun. This one is just so easy to wear. I forget that I'm wearing it. And maybe that's a bad thing because you look at it and I've put some pretty nasty dings and dents and scratches in this watch. It's not a safe queen. It is the most practical watch or easiest watch of mine to wear, but it's also the most expensive watch when it comes to valuation. It's worth roughly double the retail price. And is that a practical thing to wear a watch that costs $20,000? There's an argument to be made either way, but it's just an interesting juxtaposition. I find it the easiest to wear watch of my collection. When it comes to comfort though, the Santos de Cartier, that's easily my most comfortable watch. And I think it's due to the fact that we have a curved case back, a curved top of the case, curved crystal, and a lovely bracelet, short lug to lug length. It's just thin and trim and gorgeous on wrist. It really is my most comfortable watch. And then my most visually dynamic, this one is the Zenith Defy Classic 41 open work dial with the Elite 670 SK movement. I mean, I look at this watch and there really isn't a low part or a dull part of this model. Everything about it is beautiful and visually interesting. And when I do a wrist roll, it's just surprising how a dominant grade 5 titanium integrated bracelet with that brush finish, how that looks, how beautiful it is, and how much light play comes off of that bracelet, off of that wrist roll, off of that angular case design. And then you look at the dial and you see the use of form. An open work dial is about working with form. A skeleton dial is more, working with void, and this one is an open work that's just so beautiful in every level, lightweight, comfortable, and this one is also my most accurate watch. So one thing about it real quick, I don't want to harp on it, but you don't generally see a date on an open work dial because the date wheel just looks nasty, but this one has a skeletonized date wheel where they highlight the current date at the 6 o'clock position, and I find that very ingenious. So I think the best value for money out of the watches that I have, I mean, it's fairly subjective, but I would have to say the Seamaster. I only spent about $3,500 on that watch pre-owned, and considering how nice it is, the adjustable clasp, the coaxial movement, the ceramic wave dial, oh my goodness, guys, this one is a very special watch. I would say this carries probably the best value for money in my collection. Now let me talk about a couple extras that I don't consider a traditional member of the rotation. One of them is over there on the bookshelf. It is my Lecoultre branded Atmos clock from the 1950s. It's really interesting. It's not worth a ton. They're not exceptionally rare, but man, they're beautiful. The concept is so interesting. It definitely is a conversation starter. And that's one that, just due to how cool it is, how little I have into it, and how hard it is to move, I'm never going to sell that one. That one is going to stick around for sure. As with that Recraft UFO that was gifted by my father, that one, just has too much sentimental value to ever let go of. But I also have another one that I don't plan on ever selling. It's here on the desk behind me. It is a vintage Seiko chronometer. This one is my oldest watch, and I can't wear it. I look like a fool when I put it on. I'm kind of a big, beefy guy. I can't pull it off personally, and my wife has no interest in wearing it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to service it, and when my girls get a little bit older, I'm going to see if there's interest. If any of them want to wear this vintage Seiko chronometer, this one was a gift from a very close friend of mine. So I have a few extras, outside of the traditional collection. And again, I have two inbound, that B Maker, and another one that comes from this list. Let me share with you guys some watches that I'm really interested in purchasing, that I'm looking into buying. These are the short list here. The first one is the IWC Le Petit Prince chronograph, 41 millimeter size, so a little bit smaller than the 43 with the Valjoux. And this one has an in-house movement, bulletproof bracelet, adjustable clasp, very, very beautiful. Comes in blue, comes in green as well. I think I'm more into the blue personally because the Hulk in my collection, you just can't beat that green. You really can't. So I'm interested in that one. I'm interested in a Jaeger-LeCoultre Reverso in the large size. I'm interested in the Bruce Bay chronograph, the Tudor Black Bay Chrono, Panda, and Reverse Panda, the ones that I designed for Tudor, and they recently, came out with. So I'm waiting on my authorized dealer to get back stock. Those are proving to be pretty difficult to get watches. So I'm interested in those. I'm interested in the Tudor Royal. I'm interested in this G-Shock, this titanium G-Shock, but with the positive display and just the basic black finish. I believe the reference is the TBN1. That one I'm interested in picking up, as well as a couple Omegas, the Planet Ocean in white with the orange bezel, the blood bezel. That one is so cool. I've reviewed, and I would like to buy before it's discontinued because I think it's really special. And I also like the Seamaster 300, the new design from Omega with the sandwich dial. I think that one looks really good. I had opportunity to see one at my local authorized dealer within the past couple weeks. Another one I like is the SLA 045 Seiko. This is the Thong Sia exclusive. It's limited to 300 units. You can only buy it in Southeast Asia, but it's the Marine Master 300 in a really beautiful color configuration. And those of you that are longtime viewers, you know I have an affinity for the Marine Master. I just can't quit it. I've owned 4 over the years, and I know I'm not done with this brand, and this one definitely has my eye. I'd also like to buy a submersible 42 from Panerai, 50s case, and I'm on the wait list for a couple Rolex from my local authorized dealer, and I have no idea. That could be 2 weeks from now, could be 2 years from now, whenever they're able to help me out. I'm looking for an OP41 and a Datejust 41 from them. So, these are the short list. These are the watches that I'm interested in. And again, I have one from this list that I've already pulled the trigger on that's inbound, and I'm excited to share it with you guys. And depending on how quickly I can edit and upload, that will be on the channel within the next couple weeks, maybe week, depending again on how quick I can get a video out. But yeah, I want to end with one thing, and that is what I find interesting, but what some of you don't find so interesting, and that's cost, that's value. So I'm going to list the watches in my collection here, and I'm going to list the retail price. You guys will notice the grand total here is just a little bit over $48,000 at retail. Now, I'm also going to list the current market value. If I went to go list these on Watch Recon, Watch USeek, my Discord server, wherever it is, this is what they're worth. They're worth a little bit over $49,000, so just shy of $50,000. Depending on the day, I might be able to get $50,000 for this collection. And you notice some of them really appreciate in value, and some of them take a big hit. And that just emphasizes you need to be wise in buying watches, especially if you're a flipper like me. You need to be wise in how you purchase them, because you can lose thousands and thousands of dollars just by wanting to try other things and not having the patience on waiting and keeping and building up your collection methodically. So I will also say I am $35,000 into this collection, which might sound like a heck of a lot to some of you and might sound like peanuts to others. It's all pretty relative depending on where you are in your collecting journey. But yeah, I'm about $35,000 into this collection that's worth at the moment about $50,000. So I think I've been relatively good at getting these at good pricing and picking watches that appreciate to a decent degree. Now, I will say I bought some of these brand new full retail price from the authorized dealer. Others of them I bought brand new from the authorized dealer, but at a discount. Some of them I bought at the pre-owned price, steal of a deal. on the secondary market. And some of them I was gifted by family members, by close friends, and a couple by actually brands who've worked with me in creating content. So I'm 35 in, my watches are worth 50. I have desires to change the collection up and add more variety, add some more beautiful watches that I've been interested in. And I'm really looking forward to doing that. Now I'm going to end with a couple things here. One is some long-term goals for me. And I think some of you will be able to relate. But I have a desire to own a full precious metal watch at some point. And that includes the bracelet. I want that weight, that heft of gold. And I like white gold. I like rose gold, but I'm very tacky and I want yellow gold. I want a full precious metal yellow gold watch at some point, and it's likely going to be a day date. I love the day date. It's predictable, but it's a heck of a watch. Now, another one that I'd really like to buy at some point is actually a ceramic watch, a full ceramic watch, but there are very few brands that are doing ceramic bracelets. And so I think that one might be, 5 or 10 years out. I think it might take some time for brands to really start manufacturing ceramic bracelets. I think eventually it will happen. So I have a desire to add a full ceramic bracelet, model at some point. Hopefully, Omega, Tudor. We'll see who ends up doing it, who ends up having, the desire to be the first. But that's something that I'm interested in as well. Now, I don't know exactly what the future holds. I'd like to buy a Longa. Again, I'd like to buy full precious metal. I'd like to continue with affordable watches, limited editions, special editions. I want to continue to add color, add variety to my sport watch collection, and maybe foray a little bit into dress watches or other styles of watches, maybe vintage watches. We'll see what happens. The only thing I know is that I love change. I love watches, and I'm going to continue to enjoy this hobby just the way that I see fit. So stay tuned for future watch reviews. Stay tuned for future collection updates. And guys, thanks for watching today. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you next time. Whoa, that was a good click. So Evie, tell me, which watch do I have is your favorite? Take a look at all of them.
The blue one.
Which one? I have a couple blue ones.
This one, and where's the other blue one?
Right there. So which one is your favorite? Just choose one.
This one.
You like the Oris.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Can I be one of these?
Any one of them.
This one.
You like the Zodiac?
Yes.
Cool. Why do you like it?
I just like the red and blue.
Cool.
I think my favorite is the Cartier.
Cool.
I like this one.
You like that one?
And by the way, that pig noise, that is not a toot. That's my dog playing with one of her pig squeezy toys.